follower. If you can hear me, please drop a 1 in the chat box so I know you can hear me. Thank you very much. If you can hear me, please drop a 1 in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome every single one of us. So I see about 14 people here. Thank you for joining. Welcome. So if you know somebody that wants to transition into tech, or you know that person that's always wanted to be a tech bro or a tech sis, now is the right time to send them the link to this session. Go ahead and send them the link to this session. So we did a bit of introduction this evening where I am. My name is Fopafilo Aderoju. I'm joining in from Lagos, Nigeria. So I want every one of us here on the call to go ahead to do a bit of introductions, introduce yourself, write your name and where you're joining from so that we can know you and get acquainted. So I'll be expecting to see our chats like I just did. My name is Fopafilo Aderoju, Lagos, Nigeria. So I want us to go ahead to write that in the chat box. I'm looking at the chat box, waiting to see us. Munisola says, Munisola from Canada. I want every single one of us on this call to go ahead and introduce ourselves. Dave from Manchester, I can see you. If you're wondering where to put in your name and where you're from, so if you check the downside of your meeting, you would see the chat box where you could just tap in and go ahead. So Isosa says it's from Singapore. Moduri says it's from Canada. Chinmerum says Middleburg, UK. Innocent says from Manchester. So nice to have every single one of you here today. So nice to have every one of us. I'm really glad to have us here. Like I said before, if you have somebody that you want them to break forth into tech, this is the right time to take the link of this session and send it to them so they can join this session. So I'm just going to go ahead to share my screen and we can go ahead to start this session. Yeah, so once you can see my screen, please let me know. Just write it in the chat box so I know that you can see my screen. You can just give me a 1 in the chat box if you can see my screen, and then we're good to go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead to start the session. Yeah, so welcome to our alumni fireside chat session, where we all alumni, people that have worked through 10Alytics, have done the training and already have jobs, and are here to speak to you, just to literally tell you their own success story. Today we have 2 people with us, that's Hope and Gad, and they'll be walking us through their success story. But before we jump right into that, I just want to walk us through who 10Alytics is and what we're about. I know most of us are here in 10Alytics. Who is 10Alytics? Who are we? What are we? What do they do? So I'm just going to walk us right straight into that. So 10Alytics is a leading edtech. We've focused on providing specialized training in technology skills and delivering comprehensive data consulting services. Our target market majorly is to the Black and the Africans. We looked and we saw that in the tech space, we don't have Blacks, we don't have major Blacks, or we don't really have, Africans there. So 10Alytics was founded, the vision of 10Alytics was founded, and we ventured into training Blacks and Africans in tech and taking them from the classroom straight into their first job. We've helped about 2,000 people or more, Seth. We've helped over 2,000 people, to be very honest, and we're committed to the technology sector through accessible premium experiential training in data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, Agile Scrum project management, cybersecurity, and AI engineering. We have seasoned facilitators and instructors that have worked in several spheres of the world, places such as Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Amazon, and they are here to bring you their wealth of expertise of knowledge, and they'll be walking you through classes and your training while you're here in 10Alytics. We also recently got into the Alberta Catalyzer Velocity program in October, and these are one of the steps we've taken so far to help us be able to train more people and to help us to be able to support the Black community. Yeah, so I'm your host for today. My name is Fopafilo Aderoju. I'm passionate about education, and I'm also a tech enthusiast with over 4 years experience cutting across sales, customer service, and data science. Currently, I'm a data associate at Analytics for the data science team. My experience spans across sales, customer service, and I'm also a budding project manager. I've also helped on board and helped over 500 participants transition successfully into tech. Here with me today is my co-host, Accees Enrolment, who is also the lead for the operations here at 10Alytics, and is a seasoned technology professional with over 5-year experience in diverse experience spanning through data analytics, business analysis, power platforms engineering, and most recently, predictive AI engineering. And he's also, like I said, he's also the lead here at Analytics for the training and operations units. Accees has cultivated a rich background in various roles. He has been a data analyst, a business analyst, and also a power platform engineer. He has worked with several companies cut across UK, US, Canada, Singapore, and Nigeria. He operates as a consultant and a freelancer. He actively contributes to digital transformative initiatives, and he has helped train over 2,500 participants into the tech space and, further solidifying their expertise in their various fields. So I'm just going to walk us through how the flow of today's session will go. So we're going to hear from the alumni. We're going to do a bit of Q&A from them. We want them to share how they worked, the work of from training and landing their jobs. And then we're going to go ahead to walk us through the tech skills we need to, and which parts we should choose in, going into the tech space. Then we're going to go ahead to talk about the 10Alytics Growth Internship Program. Then after that, we'll go ahead to talk about the discounts we have for you today. So I'm going to go ahead to introduce our alumni. We have 2 people in the house today, and we have Hope, who took our project management training, and presently she's a project analyst at Bestman Manufacturing ULC. And we also have Gad here with us today, who is a data warehouse and ETL developer for an organization called NHSBSA. Yeah, so we're just going to go straight into the session. And I'm going to just stop sharing my screen so we can just go ahead. So Gad, please confirm you're here. Please go ahead to unmute yourself, and we want to hear from you. Please go ahead to speak to confirm you're here. Gad, I can see you. Please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Gad. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good evening. And,
Good evening.
good morning. Good
afternoon. I mean, it depends
listening.
on where you are chatting from. Yeah, so it's so
Yeah.
nice
I think
to hear
this
from
is
you today. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead to ask you some questions and we'll go straight into it. So I want you to, do a bit of introduction to yourself. Tell us what you do currently. Tell us what background you have had before transitioning into tech where you are now, and just walk us through who you are. Thank you.
okay. Well, I'm super excited to be here because 10 Analytics really contributed a lot to my life and where I am today. So my name is Gad. Olungobi, and I currently work as a data warehouse and ETL developer with the NHS Business Service Authority here in England.
I
And
don't know
I
if
started
it's
not too
me,
long ago.
but God, I can't hear you so well. Please, can you try to speak up or louder so I can hear you?
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, I said I'm super excited to be here. And the last time I was here was when I was still going through my training and we were doing our demo and stuff like that. So my name is Gard, and I currently work as a data warehouse and ETL developer with the NHS Business Service Authority here in Newcastle in England. And my journey began when I came for my studies to I went to the UK for my studies, and after I finished studying, I've been hearing stuff about data engineering, although I was a little bit into IT, but more on the software engineering aspect. But I had no clue of had no clue of data engineering. So, and then data engineering was like sort of the selling skill in IT here in the UK. So I said, okay, I want to do data engineering. And then I've been looking for resource. I saw some other resource, but then when I think I was on Twitter one day and I saw a testimony of someone who had done 10 Analytics before. So I I was impressed by the testimony, and that's how I joined the 10 Analytics. Yeah, I think I answered the first question, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, but you were a bit low. So probably if you could try to speak closer to your mic next time. 'Cause, yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I did pick up a part where you talked about you didn't have any prior data engineering experience. So if you could just walk us through what you had done prior to now. So what were you doing before transitioning into data engineering?
What I was doing, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly well.
Okay, what I was doing prior to data engineering, I just finished my studies. I was studying my master's and I wasn't really doing anything. So, yeah.
Okay, so what were you doing your master's in? That's what I want to know.
Okay, it's computer science.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so you did have a little bit of tech experience before going into um data
Yes, yes,
engineering.
yes,
Yeah, that's good to
yes.
hear. That's good to hear. So what informed your decision to get started in tech and how did you find analytics?
What informed my decision was I've always wanted to sort of study from a bachelor. I studied mechanical engineering, and then, but I've always wanted to build things on my own and like things that I could see. Because if I was working in a mechanical engineering industry, I wouldn't like sort of be able to build something on my own. So I wanted to build a product that I could see. So that was what really informed my decision in moving into IT. So I started working as I joined the boot camp for software engineering, and then I started working on enterprise app building, working as a front end developer. So I worked for 1 year before I left for my masters.
Okay, good. So how did you hear about analytics?
Yeah, as I said earlier, I found analytics on. I've seen them on Instagram before, and then later on there was one other day I saw them on Twitter. So on the Twitter platform, I think I saw a testimony of someone um, talking through how he joined analytics and got a job, and then and there was a WhatsApp link, so I joined the WhatsApp link, and then on see January 2023, so I decided to um, join analytics. I think before then, I joined the master class too. And when I saw all the demos on the master class, I was really impressed and I decided to go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good to hear. So while you were in analytics, while you were with us and taking your training, I'd like for you to describe how it was, the mentorship sessions, the employability sessions, literally just walk us through your journey from the beginning of your training till you got your job. I want us to just take us on that journey.
But yeah, so when I joined, we started basically everything from scratch because I had other people who had no form of any tech background or haven't coded in their life before. And so we started from the basics and moved upward to from I don't know if everyone is going in for data engineering, but I will just give an overview. So we started basically from everything, from the basics, and moved upward, and then we started working on small projects, and after that, we were assigned some started working on real life projects like case study projects here, and then we worked on our capstone projects, and most of those projects and really helped me personally a lot because I saw this project as sort of a simulation of what would happen in the like in real life in the industry. So those case studies really helped me during my interviews when I was asked questions about some of the experience. Oh, have you done this before? Have you done that before? Or how did you, when you were building ETL pipeline, what challenge did you? So all of the experience while working on those case studies really gave me enough experience that I would I would say it amounted to like, let me just say like maybe like a 2 or 3 years experience. Yeah, for me. I don't know for others, yeah, but for me, because I worked on all of the case studies. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I want you to walk us through
And then
the ability. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So I want you to walk us through, the times you joined the employability sessions, the mentorship sessions. How were they? How did you learn from them? What you learned, and how you were able to use this in your interviews.
Yes, in the employability section, especially drafting your CVs and stuff like that. I learned a lot, especially from some of the host people that have like seasoned professionals that have been in the industry and how to draft the proper CV, how to align your experience or your previous experience that you've got to what you're applying for. And also those employability sections, I make sure all the employability sections, I make sure I attended all of them and I was jotting down things, trying all strategies, your updating your LinkedIn, your LinkedIn and stuff like that. And I was able to jot down some key points that helped me to when I was applying for jobs. I was able to um, see success, like I was shortlisted for interviews, and especially a lot of people don't really know how to use Chat GPT, so they gave us showed us how to use Chat GPT prompts to really tailor your stuff, and so it wouldn't really look like it is a robot that is writing your CVs and all that stuff for you.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. I hope we're all taking notes while Gad was speaking. I mean, I've been learning a lot, and I'll just go ahead to hand over to Isusa. Isusa has some questions
Yeah.
he wants to ask Gad.
Thank you very much, Fokpa. It's been great listening to you, Gad. And I would just like to write down what you said. And of course, Fokpa would lead on with her questions because trust me, I've been having a wonderful time listening to the conversation. I can see you're already fully in tech. Now you're a data engineer, and that's the field you're working in. You can see the headsets, you can see the black tees. These are the signature of everyone in tech. Okay. Right. So, God, at the moment, it seems you are living the life, right? You are living the life. That is the dream of so many of us on the call right now. And that you're living the life. How's it been so far? How's it been? I believe your day-to-day work life is enjoyable. You're smiling. Okay, you're smiling. When you can smile because you are working, that is the life, really. We have some people that go to work and they don't smile. But look at God. Now, guys on the call, I want you to take a look at God right now. God is happy. Okay, God is happy, and I don't know. So God, what's that joy that you find in working as a data engineer? What's your day-to-day life like? Do you enjoy what you do at the moment?
Honestly, yes, yes, I enjoy what I do, and it's like I got my dream job. Actually, it's like my dream job, and it gives me that flexibility. It gives me that comfort. It gives me everything you can ever think of. It's like someone saying, "I have a good job." Yes, it is all of the
Yeah,
particulars. Because
yeah, definitely.
I got I got sponsored to. I was on my student visa, and when I got the job, I got sponsored straight up. I was given the visa sponsorship, and to be honest with you, it was a life-changing experience for me.
Yeah, thank you very much, God. That is really, really exciting. Not only getting your dream job, but also being fully sponsored. That's what we do at 10Alytics, really. And I'm glad that you were also a partaker of that. And something I would also like to say, there's something you mentioned, right? You talked about flexibility, being able to work and you have good work-life balance. You can, everything, it's flexible, it's enjoyable. I don't know, for those of us on the call, if we actually joined the session before we actually started the session, okay? I'm talking about the time when we were playing the testimonial, so we're talking about what we've been able to do at 10Alytics. I don't know if you saw this guy, but there was a participant that gave a testimonial, and what he said was, the reason why he joined 10Alytics was that he wanted to be able to have this flexible lifestyle. And I'm not paraphrasing now. This is exactly what he said. He said he wants to be able to walk from anywhere in the world, walking from a rooftop in Mexico, or walking from a rooftop in Greece. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, really. A quick story, So sometime last year, I worked with an organization in Singapore, so we're helping them set up a project, right? I did not have to move to Singapore even if I could, if I wanted to. I did not have to do that. And that's one fantastic thing that tech offers you, and that I'm sure that you're partaking of at the moment as well, Gad. So I just wanted to mention some of those things, and I was so excited. I just had to speak. I just had to speak with Gad. So apologies for crashing the party, but Gad, it's very, very exciting, really, having you right here and telling us how you were able to transition. Okay, I'm gonna hand over back to Fokwe. So Fokwe continues with the conversation. So I just stay back and continue listening while we wait for Hope to also join us, because Hope is running a bit late. So back to you, Fokwe.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you so much. So, I mean, I checked the chat box and I'm seeing people say, I want to be like God when I grow up. Oh my God, that's such an achievement. So yeah, we want to be like you when we grow up, God. Yeah, so if you are in the session and you need resources, you need the materials used in the session, and you need a recording of the session, please ensure to fill the attendance form that is being dropped in the chat box. So I'm just going to go ahead to ask Gad, to continue asking Gad questions. So Gad, for you, how would you explain so far? I need you to just walk me through. Would you say that 10Alytics was a major part of your transition into tech?
Yes, I would say, yeah, it was, because especially the connections I made it's not just about the training. One person that I see as a mentor in my field today, I met him in 10Alytics. He was one of my trainers, and throughout my job hunting journey, he has been really instrumental. And yes, 10Alytics really um, helped me a lot.
That's good to hear. So if there's anything at all you want to share with people that are here, you want to tell them, you want to advise them to join tech, to join 10Alytics. 10Alytics is the way to go. Please, now is the time for you to, go ahead to tell us how, to just give us your piece of advice. Anybody that's trying to transition into tech,
Yes,
you want to give them that advice.
piece of advice would be my life testimony. It's not like someone giving you stories. You can go on my LinkedIn, you will still see that I've been with 10Alytics, and I'm a true testimony that yes, 10Alytics would give you what you want to, the training you want, and the skill set you want to transition to whatever field you feel is good for you, and also the real life experiences, the people you're going to you network with a lot of people, especially the trainers, and these are seasoned people that are really experienced, and they will not just like train you and leave you. You would even after doing job hunting, I've been in a situation where When I'm applying for a job, I will have to come back and like, oh, when I tailor my CV, I'll have to meet my trainer, like, and I'll say, look at my CV and look at what the job entails. What do you think? And he will go through it before I submit my CV. And most of the time is when if I apply for like 10 jobs, I sometimes I get shortlisted for 5 interviews. So it was because I built a very close relationship with the trainer. So we are, even till date, we are always chatting, we are always talking. Yeah. And so 10 Analytics will give you everything you need to get the job you want.
Yeah, thank
Sorry,
you.
for
Yeah,
interrupting.
please go
Okay,
ahead.
I just need to write on that, Gad. You said you applied for 10 jobs. How many jobs? Like if you apply for 6 jobs, you get 5 interviews. Was that what you said? Okay. Could you take that
Yes.
again? I just want to. So let's say you apply for 6 jobs, you get 5 interviews.
Yeah, if I apply for like 6 jobs, I will get 3 interviews.
Okay, that's 50% conversion rate. What are the marketers in the
Yes.
house? If you're a marketer in the house, you know that conversion, 50% conversion rate is out of this world. And now we have GAD that if GAD applies for 6 different jobs, it gets 3 interviews. Many of us on the call right now, we've been applying to jobs over and over and over and over again. Each day we apply to nothing less than 250 jobs, hypothetically now, okay? But let's say in a month you've applied to over 1,000 roles and you've not even gotten a single interview. And here is GAD that would go ahead to apply for 6 jobs and would get what? 2 interviews. Gad, you mentioned earlier that you understood how to craft your CV working with the job description, right?
Yes.
Great. Because I also had a session. I know that I had a session about a week or 2 weeks ago. For those of you on the call, we had a masterclass where we showed you how you can tailor your CV to any job description. So please, if you are not on that session, ensure you follow us on social media, go on our YouTube page and search for that session, okay? Or just send a message to any of the admins on the WhatsApp community and that link will be provided to you. So you also get to learn how you can have job-winning CVs in the year 2025. One other thing I would like to ask Gad is how important was LinkedIn optimization in your entire job search? How important was it?
Yeah, it was really important, especially when there was a time when I started posting most of the projects I was working on, like the capstone projects. I was posting them on my LinkedIn profile, and then that period, a lot of recruiters reach out to me because when you're posting your projects on your LinkedIn profile, it sort of puts the algorithm sort of pushes your name in that particular feed. So whenever recruiters are looking for um, people to recruit, your name just pops up because you've been working on, like, when you post the project, you state the tools and the technology you use. So sometimes they just search the technologies and people that are using it, and the algorithm pushes your name to the top um, people for that role.
Yeah, definitely. There was this on LinkedIn, right? You mentioned recruiters reaching out to you, literally telling you to apply to jobs you did not even know existed. This is a situation where they're telling you, okay, come over here, I think you have the skills. That's very, very enlightening. Because I, for one, I recruit so many people as well. Okay, so maybe I have a project, I bring people on my team, so we work on that project, usually on a contract basis. And what I do is what you just mentioned recruiters do. So I usually don't have the time to send like a link, a job post link. So you send a job post out there for people to apply, send in their CVs. I usually don't have the time for that. So I headhunt instead. And how do I do that? And everyone on the call, listen, so you know what to do to ensure that recruiters are reaching out to you. This is coming from the mouth of a recruiter himself, okay? So this is what I do. I go on LinkedIn, just like Dad mentioned, and then I search for the role. When you search for a role, let's say data analyst, or maybe someone that has that uses a particular kind of tool, there are usually 1 to 100 different pages that you can scroll through to check for profiles. I don't know if you've seen that guide. Maybe you looked for a friend on LinkedIn or something. You would usually notice that if you have 1 to 100 profiles that you can switch from, because there's so many people that have those skills, right? But at the end of the day, I do not end up looking past the 15th page. So that means that people that were in 16, 17, 18 down to the 100th were not even in the running. So for you to be up there, for the algorithm to always be like, oh yeah, this is the person, I feel this person is the right fit for this role, is that you need to keep posting, you need to keep doing all of those things that Gad mentioned he has been doing. So thank you very much, Gad. That has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much, Gad. And I don't think we asked you this question earlier, but when did you join the 10Alytics program? That's a data engineering program, of course. And when did you get that job?
I joined I joined in January 2023, and I got the job in October 2020. Sorry, I joined in January 2024, and I got the job in October 2024.
Okay, so you registered, you were part of the course from January, and then the course is usually 5 months, because of course you have your 2 months, your 4 months of learning, then you have your internship, and then 5 months to January, that's about July. So after you completed the program, it took about August, September, October, 3 months for you to land that job.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. It sounds unreal. It sounds unreal. I like that is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much. Fantastic. So we have Hope with us as well. So Hope was not able to join us at the start of the session. Why? Because Hope is currently working. Hope is currently living the life. So right now, Hope is so busy, she no longer has time for us. And so but we have Hope with us as well, and Hope is still going to share a story with us, just like the way Gad has done. Over to you, Fakbe, and welcome to the session, Hope.
Thank you so much, Isosa. Welcome. Thank you so much, Gad. It was really nice hearing from you, and I hope everybody on this call to heard from Gad, and we're taking notes. So Hope, we're just going to go right ahead to you. Thank you for giving us, this little time in I mean, we're now begging to have you. Oh my God. So thank you so much. So I'm just going to go right ahead to you. Yeah. So please go ahead to introduce yourself and, walk us through who you are, what you did prior to what you are doing now, what you are doing now, and how it is going.
Okay. So basically, my name is Hope Atogi, and I am a project analyst with Viessmann Manufacturing Company in Canada. And so prior to joining the company, I had worked in the project space for a while back home in Nigeria, but not just basically I would say as a project assistant, and I've handled a couple of projects in my space. I'd worked in the travels industry for a couple of years, about close to 10 years. And I then switched to a little bit of IT for like 2 years before I moved out of Nigeria. And so I still worked in the travel space while back in Canada before I then eventually got my project management role.
Okay, so if what I'm hearing is you were not really into tech before now crossing into tech. I mean, that's
I'm still not into tech. So that's the thing. I'm still not into tech, but I enjoy what I do. I worked in the travel space. I managed projects in the travel space, basically. I worked a little bit in a financial institution back in Lagos. And it was just for a very short time. I handled very short-term projects that were not so difficult to get. Then I moved to Canada, but I worked in the travel space in Canada, not in the project capacity.
Oh, okay. But presently, where do you work?
Okay, so presently I work as a project analyst with Viessmann Manufacturing Company here in Canada.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying, that you were not into tech before, but now you're fully into tech as a project
Oh, well,
analyst.
yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good to hear. So how did you hear about analytics, before taking our training? How did you come across us?
Okay, so I have a sister in the UK, and we talk a lot, and we got talking about, oh, okay, because she's doing a master's, and she's like, oh, what's our next step? And proud to hearing about 10Alytics, I had done a course in project management, written my PMP. I wrote my PMP once, I passed it once, I did my Scrum Master, I passed it once, and then I wasn't getting the job. Like, I had applied, I could say I had applied to over 100 kinds of jobs in the space, and I wasn't still hitting it. So I got to talk to my sister, and we just rubbed minds. She also enrolled in 10Alytics, and she's like, okay, do you know what? Let's enroll in 10Alytics together. Let's try this thing for the last time before we give up on our careers and become full housewives. Okay, I'm just joking. But but basically, we had to strategically think about how we want to go about our career goals. And then we said, okay, do you know what? She heard at 10Alytics first. I hadn't heard about 10Alytics. And she's like, okay, I've heard these guys are good and all that. Should we try it? It's a lot of money, but it's worth trying. So yeah, we enrolled together in September 2024. So yeah, I joined the 10Alytics. I had a call prior to, I joined I think it was an information session or a career session basically. And, everybody got talking about, oh, how they're trying to break into this, how project management is new and all that. And I had a different goal joining 10Alytics basically. And I got to talk to a femina, and we had a very like a 1 hour talk after that session. And he's like, do you know what? Trust me, I think you're in the best path. It's just, you need to just fine tune a couple of things. And yeah, so I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And then, yeah, I enrolled in the September class immediately. I think I just had maybe 1 week of decision making, and then I just said, you know what, let's do it. And yeah, I rolled into the class September 2024.
Yeah. So I mean, from what you just said, I'm really happy to hear that, there was a process for you to get here, and every of those steps were worth it. So what would you say, how was your training so far while you were training with us? How was it? Just walk us through the journey from your classes to the employability sessions, to the mentorship sessions, to all the sessions we had, and up to the point that you landed a job. Please walk us through the beautiful story.
Okay, so basically, I enjoyed the class. The only challenge I had was time difference, and it was very challenging. There were times I had to miss classes because I couldn't get off because it was very early in the morning, and I had to go back and listen to recordings. And but basically what stood out for me throughout the class was the fact that the instructors, he was very, very explanatory. And coming from the fact that I had done projects PMP already, I already had a full knowledge, in all honesty. I had a 1 year program in project management before I wrote my PMP and Scrum. So I had a very good knowledge of project management, and with the little experience I already had. But joining the class was very interactive, and it was a good space because people were able to learn and put our learning into practical use. There were simulations that we had to always submit at the end of the week, and it was very difficult keeping up with everybody in different time zones and all that, but we were able to do that. And it was very interactive because you come to class, you would present like you're going to be presenting in the real world. And it was very self-explanatory. The manual was self-explanatory, but even coming to class and the tutors even putting you through it step by step, even if you didn't have any background in project management, you would have a good grasp of what agile project management is all about. So it was good. And while I was doing that, I was simultaneously working with the team to get a job, because that was basically my main aim, in all honesty, because I wanted to get additional knowledge in agile project management and also get the job. And God being so good, I joined in September. My first interview was in ending of October. I landed the job in November. And then I resumed in December. So it was it was well mapped out. And I really appreciate the fact that, you would get a lot of mentorship programs, mentorship classes, CV reviews, interview session, simulation, having that. And it was a very good avenue for me. And I really enjoyed the process to the very end. I tried to stay to the very end, actually. Because, there's this thing of when you land a job, you just leave the program. But yeah, I tried to stay to the very end, and it was worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I mean, hearing your story is really, really inspiring. So before I pass the mic to my colleague, Isosa, so I have one important question to ask you. So before you were talking about, you had applied for roles severally and you were not getting in before you now came into 10Alytics. So from that period where you were applying for roles up until the point that you were enrolled into 10Alytics before getting your job. So what was motivating you throughout that period? What was the motivation that you were using to just push through? What were the things that just kept you going? How did it go?
Okay, so for me, I try not to settle for less. That's the truth. I know what and I tried not to use my situation to justify why I should remain in one position and all that. So I try to push myself as much as possible. And for me, it was more like being in the middle of people of like minds. There's sometimes that you get tired and you just want to give up. But there's this one friend, there's this one sister that keeps telling you, babe, you cannot give up at this point. You have to keep pushing, you have to keep doing all that you can until you land that job that you want. And I don't think I've still landed that job. I'm still, they say you can never have enough money. So I'm not gotten to where I want to be, but it's a good process, basically. But so I would say just keep pushing yourself, keep encouraging yourself. There are times you would feel tired. Whenever you feel tired, you can rest. That's the truth. I tell people a lot. When you're in the midst of applying for a job and you're not getting it, even if you take 1 or 2 days off and say, do you know what, let me just sit down, reflect, and re-strategize on how I should go about this. In all honesty, it took me more than it took me like about, when I actively started searching for project roles, it took me at least 8 months before I landed the job. So trust me, being in Canada and not having a job for 8 months is not what you want to, experience, but it was worth every sweat, every sleepless night and all that.
Yeah. So you said you joined us in September, right? September
Yes.
2024. So from September to 2024, what month exactly did you get the job?
I got my offer in November.
I mean, just 3 months. So
Yeah.
that means we're doing something right here. No, I'm really, really
You're doing
proud of
something
that.
right. You're
Yeah,
doing something
so
right.
I'm just gonna go ahead to pass the mic to my colleague Sosa to
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for thank you, Hope. A fantastic conversation so far. Now, I'm not gonna take your time. Understand right now you're a very busy lady. Okay. So I'm going to respect your time. There's just one question I have for you. And
Okay.
the question, you don't even need to say anything. You could just nod if it's correct. I heard this from you sometime. Okay. I just want to confirm for myself and for every other person on the call. Talking about, because you mentioned money earlier, okay? Talking about that, is it 6 figures? Just give me a nod, if that's correct. Okay, fantastic. Now we are talking. Thank you very much, Hope, for taking out the time. I know that you don't have the time, but you were able to find just some time to join us and share your story to us. Thank you very much, and we
Thank
really
you
do
for having
appreciate
me.
you. Yeah, thank you, Hope.
Thank you so
Thank
much for
you
having me.
very much. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. All right, then. So we've heard from Hope, we've heard from God. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. This is what we are talking about. This is what we are talking about. So many of us on the call, we are looking to make that switch. We are looking to make that transition. Previously, we were in the shoes of God or in the shoes of Hope, whereby probably we are applying, we're not getting the job, and maybe we're feeling dejected. Okay, you know what? Why don't I just give up and go ahead doing what I'm doing at the moment that I actually did not want to continue? But then you just want to go with that, go with the times. Don't do that. We've seen people that have been able to make that switch. On the call today, we've been able to speak with just 2 amazing individuals. That's Hope and God. But we've actually been able to help over 2,800 people transition from the classroom to getting their first job in tech. And if it was possible, if we had the time, probably we get all 2,000 of them on the call. And so they get to share their stories as well. And so you get to understand how you can also make that switch. But yeah, listening to Hope and listening to God has also been quite amazing. Just to confirm if everyone is still with me and if we've enjoyed the story so far, just like maybe it's a new episode of a movie, story so far, okay? Even though you're still with me, I want you to send ice cream to the chat box. Now, don't ask me why I decided to go with ice cream. Okay, don't ask me why I decided to go with ice cream, but it's just me. I just want to know. So if you're still with me, I want you to send ice cream to the chat box, and I need responses. Okay, I need responses. Thank you. So Flourish is still with me. Fantastic. We have Erica. We have Abby ice cream. Okay, Abiodun ice cream. Abiodun went as far as searching for the ice cream emoji and inserting that. Lumi Lom also says ice cream. Kate says ice cream. So ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Dave says creams. Dave is with me, but also not with me. So that's the reason why Dave decided to go with, just break that into 2 and go with one aspect, which is creams. Malawa is still with me. Fantastic. Good to know that we are still together. Okay, because we've taken a look at the first section. We've had fun. We've listened to a story. I love to say Tales by Moonlight. In this case, maybe we can actually say, yes, it was Tales by Moonlight, listening to people that have been able to transition and how we can do same. From the story we've just heard, I'm sure we got moral lessons. Because everyone on the call, I'm pretty sure you know, if you were in the session yesterday, we talked about stories and we talked about moral lessons, okay? Whereby we have Tales by Moonlight, and in Tales by Moonlight, there's usually a moral lesson. Although recent stories now, there are no moral lessons. We understand. That's the stories now, children's stories, all of those kind of stuff, bedtime stories. It's all about a kid that's going on an adventure. But back in the days, there's usually a moral lesson. And from the story we've heard today, I'm sure we got a moral lesson. And what is that moral lesson? Does anyone know the moral lesson? If you get the moral lesson correctly, okay, the moral lesson from the story so far, if you get the moral lesson, I'm going to give you a present at the end of the session. If you get the moral lesson, I will give you a present at the end of this session. If I forget to mention, remind me at the end of this session when we are done, you can use the raise hand icon. Oh, Isisa, you mentioned that you were going to give me a present. I will give you a present if you get the moral lesson. So I can see responses: make money, join, never give up, join analytics. Now, what is the moral lesson from this? Simple. The moral lesson is join analytics. That is the moral lesson. Some of us got that. Just only one. I'm gonna give the present to the first person that mentioned joint analytics, and that is Chuk. Okay, so Chuk said joint analytics. Although Chuk did not spell analytics correctly, that's not how to spell analytics. So I don't think I'm going to give it to Chooks. Chooks did not get analytics correctly. Who got analytics? Oluwaseun says you join analytics. It's not analytics, that's analytics. No one spelled analytics correctly. Now people are saying, oh, I think it was just Oluwaseun. Just Oluwaseun got it. 10Alytics. So Oluwaseun, I have a present for you. Okay, I have a present for you at the end of the session. Remind me in case if I forget. But yeah, that's the moral lesson. Join analytics. We understand because we'll be able to help you achieve your goals. We will be able to help you transition. We'll be able to help you do that. But first thing first, it's one step at a time. We first of all need to understand which is the right career path. For me, in this case, when I say me, I'm referring to you. What is the right career path for each and every one of us on the call? For most of us at the moment, we're all interested in tech. But which tech should we get into? I'll take that again. At the moment, most of us, we are interested in tech. But then again, which tech should we get into? You want to ensure that you're transitioning into a career that opens doors and not a career that closes them. You want to ensure that you're transitioning into a career that is not a dead end. And so that's what we're going to be taking a look at right now. Which is the right career path for you? What should you be looking to get into? Great. In that regard, what we'll be taking a look at is the journey of 10Alytics, how we came across the 8 programs that we offer, and what backs the 8 programs that we currently offer. We don't wing things at 10Alytics. We're not winging it. We're not just saying, okay, you know what, let's just go ahead and see how it goes. And then we make changes if it doesn't go well. No. Everything we do is backed by data and is backed by research. In offering the programs we offer, there were certain things we took a look at. The first thing we did is that we went ahead to WebScript because we are a data company, and so we have to take a look at data. So we went on different job boards from LinkedIn to Indeed to Glassdoor to Total Jobs, just to name a few. We scraped all of those jobs, and then after scraping the jobs, the data was in our database. Then we went ahead to career analysis. Our analysis was based on 3 criteria: ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and hand-holding salary. Taking a look at the first one, what is ease of learning? In all of the jobs that we scraped, we took a look at those jobs that were easy to learn. Easy to learn in the sense that you don't need to spend 4 years or 5 years. For example, you don't need to spend 4 years or 5 years in learning. For example, let's say you want to be a surgeon, where first of all you need to go to college. First of all, you spend 4 years in college, and then you need to go to medical school. And after you go to medical school, you then need to do your residency. And then after you're done with your residency, before you become a full-fledged surgeon, that takes nothing, at least 10 years. At least 10 years. And many of us on the call right now, we are all adults. We have all the lives. We are looking to get into something that we can start getting results as quickly as possible. And so we're taking a look at skills that you can go ahead to learn for 6 months. And then you have additional time to work on projects for internship, so you get that experience that is needed. We're talking about career paths that that are not so technical that every individual can learn, notwithstanding their background. That's the first thing. And then next we had ease of transitioning. And what is ease of transitioning talking about? Ease of transitioning is talking about roles that it's easy for you to transition into. Yeah, I understand. That might not make sense because I just use transitioning in explaining transitioning. Yeah, we do that once in a while, but you get what I mean. Ease of transitioning, I like to say, is broken into two parts, A and B. A being jobs that are so high in demand that you have nothing less than over 100 jobs uploaded on a single job board per day. For instance, if you're in the UK and you go to the job board, read.co.uk, that's if you're in the UK, for instance, and you search for data analyst roles, you would notice, you search for data analyst roles and then you filter for the roles that were uploaded just today. You would notice that you have nothing less than 100 roles just uploaded today. You'd see things like uploaded 2 minutes ago, 5 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, things like that, just for today. What does that tell you? That tells you that there are so many opportunities available that you can apply to as many jobs as possible, and that you are not applying to jobs that you don't even know if the job openings are still open, because they are recent jobs, they are fresh jobs. And we'll show you how to do all of that, how to go ahead to apply to ensure that you have like you have GAD's conversion rate of 50%, where if you apply to 6 jobs, you get what? You get 2 interviews. It doesn't get better than that. And then the B part of ease of transitioning is what? Is you being able to, is you not needing to have some sort of background for you to be able to transition, whereby you don't need to have studied data science in school, like maybe you have a master's in data science for you to be able to transition into data science to become a data scientist. That you don't need to have studied HR for you to be an HR analyst. No. That you don't need any kind of background, so it is easy for you to transition. And then third, of course, the Benjamins, talking about high and rewarding salary. Okay, talking about high and rewarding salaries. I'm sure we all remember, I asked Hope a question. Hope is currently living the life. Hope is currently earning 6 figures. You see, I asked her the question and she answered, because I know we are all interested in the money. We want to be able to live good life. I, for one, I sincerely believe it's one of my values, I would say. Maybe you can also make it yours today. That your wants are equally as important as your needs. We all know your needs. We all know your needs, being able to get clothing. So clothing, shelter, and then what? And then feeding. That's clothing, shelter, and nutrition. Those are the basic needs. Your wants are equally as important as your needs. That's what I believe anyways. Whereby you should be able to spend, let's say, $500 to $1,000 in buying a pair of shoes without blinking an eye. Yeah, you don't have to do that, but yeah, you should be able to do that if you want to. You should be able to go on vacation. You should be able to walk from a rooftop in Greece, from a rooftop in Mexico, just like the participants earlier in one of the testimonials said. That is what we should be looking to accomplish, and not just being able to have a roof over our heads alone. That's why we also take a look at programs that offer high rewarding salaries. And the 8 programs that fell under these 3 categories were business analysis, agile project management, your data analytics, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, financial analytics, and HR analytics. In addition to this, we also came across the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum releases a report called The Future of Jobs that shows you the job trend for the year. And what you'd see is that the rows by the left, those are the rows that are going to increase with demand. And the rows by the right are those that would decrease. So by the left, okay, just give me a moment. So by the left, we have those that would what? That would increase. And by the right, those that would decrease. So taking a look at the left, because that's what we're interested in. You would notice that you have roles such as your machine learning specialist, your AI and machine learning specialist. Of course, everyone knows AI is the big thing right now. And the truth is that AI has a base in data science. The foundation of AI is machine learning, and machine learning is data science. So the machine learning aspect, a data scientist can work as a machine learning specialist. A data analyst can work as a business intelligence analyst. You can see these are roles that are in high demand right now, and that the demand is only going to increase with time. That is what we are seeing at the moment. And then you see that over here, data analyst and scientist is also stated explicitly. Then for cybersecurity, you have the information security analyst. That's a cybersecurity role. For the data engineers, you can see you have big data specialists, your data engineers, your database architects. Then for business analysis, you can see you have your process automation specialist. This is not me saying that, oh, okay, these roles are in high demand. No, this is the World Economic Forum telling us that these roles are in high demand. I gave you a test earlier. I said, you can go on any job board right now and search for business analysis, or you search for data analytics, or whatever career path you want to go with. Once you search for those roles, take it and then filter and check for the number of roles that were uploaded just today. I'm not talking about the all-time record. I'm talking about the roles uploaded just today. And you would understand that, oh yes, these roles are in high demand, because they say seeing is believing. So go see it for yourself. And then, of course, we also have what? We have the Agile project managers, which is the role that Hope is currently working in, because Hope got a job as a project manager. Note, the project management here is not your mundane project management, but actually the Agile project management. And then for the database and network professionals, that is your data engineers and cybersecurity analysts. And then you also have the financial analyst roles. All of these roles, the 8 career paths, they are all in high demand. And the beauty of all of this path is that you don't only get to work in one sector. You don't only get to work as one, you don't only get to work just in one sector, like I said. For example, if let's say you're a lawyer, right? You studied law. You can only work as a lawyer. Yeah, you could either be maybe a corporate lawyer, or you be maybe a criminal lawyer. But at the end of the day, you can only work in law. That is not the situation for any of this career path. So as a data analyst, there are various areas you can work in. You can work as a data analyst, a business intelligence architect, a marketing analyst, sales analyst, your logistics analyst, your procurement analyst. So many opportunities. So when you're applying to jobs, you're not only just searching for roles titled data analyst. No, you're applying for roles titled data analyst. You're applying for roles titled product analyst. All of those roles, you're applying for them. Now tell me, you apply for 20 roles as a data analyst, another 20 roles as a sales analyst. How won't you get the job? And this is the case for every one of the career paths, from data analytics to data science to data engineering to cybersecurity, business analysis, financial analytics, HR analytics, Agile project management. You really want to get into this. But for you to get a job, what must you do? You have to take the 6-step approach. This is what we do for our participants. This is one of the formulas. There are different formulas that work. There are different formulas that you need to put together before you eventually land the job. The first is the 6-step approach. And what am I talking about? How you get to move from whatever it is you are doing at the moment to eventually getting that job. Let's take a look at an example using, let's take a look at an example using Victoria. I hope that, is there a Victoria on the call? Let's see. Is that Victoria on the call? Oh, yes, we have a Victoria on the call. We have a Victoria on the call. Okay, so let's say you see this lady over here. Okay, so we're about to, let's use this lady as a case study. So this lady wants to get a job. And so she joined in the 10Alytics. She was looking to transition to become a data engineer. Her previous experience was in customer service. She has not worked as a data engineer previously. So what did we do? How did we help? Easy. The first thing that we do is she needs to learn the skills. Very important. You can't do the job if you don't know the skills. So it's a given. You need to get the technical skills. And so how do we do this? We use a dual learning approach. A dual learning approach where you have live classes and self-paced learning on the 10Alytics LMS. So you get to learn by watching the Watch Me Do It videos on the learning management system, and then also you have live classes where you're speaking with the facilitator, you're interacting with the facilitator, you're working on case studies, you're getting what I love to call experiential learning. That you are gaining experience while learning. So it doesn't matter if you are a fast learner, you're the kind of person that would love to, maybe you would love to hear someone speak, no problem, you're good to go because you have the live classes. Or if you're the kind of person that would prefer going over and over something numerous times, clicking on the back button to go backwards, and just you want to go something 100, you want to go over something 100 times, no problem, you have the self-paced learning. And after learning, you gain project-based experience, because this lady over here is going to need the experience to get a job. That is the street. That is the honest truth. She is going to need experience to get a job, but she's coming from an area of customer service, not as from an area of data engineer. So that's why she will get experience using another method, which is called the project-based experience, where she's working on industry relevant projects. Because the way the classes go is that the facilitators will bring case studies that they've worked on in their career as data engineers. In this case, because I'm working with data engineer case study, will bring their case studies, problems that they worked on as data engineers in numerous organizations. They bring these problems to class. They change a thing or two. For example, they change the name of the organization, and change a thing or two about the data, due to data privacy policies, that's data protection laws, just to ensure we are adhering to that. And then bring the problem to class, then the participants get to work on that same problem. Then what is going to be happening there? You are learning and you are gaining experience, because the same problem you would have encountered while working as a data engineer is the same problem they are currently working on while learning as a data engineer. And then we move on to employability skills. Because, yeah, she has gotten the skills, the technical skills, she has gotten the experience. But then you need to be able to position yourself rightly in the market. You need to be like God that has a 15% conversion rate when it comes to CVs. God. I don't think you would hear that anywhere else. It's one thing for you to have experience, but you need to ensure your CVs were crafted. So when you apply to jobs, at the end of the day, you do get an interview to prove yourself that you're actually the right fit for the job. So you have your CV reviewed and revamped, your LinkedIn optimized. We talked about LinkedIn optimization earlier. You have sessions that will go through that will show you how you can navigate the job market. Because for many of us, you're probably in a country that you just moved to. So maybe you just moved to Canada, you just moved to the UK, or maybe you just moved to Australia, you just moved to Poland, and you really don't understand the current climate. So the navigation of job market session will bring recruiters from all of these countries that would come in and tell you what they look out for in participants and how you can better position yourself in the industry. And then you have interview preparation, whereby you've gotten an interview, you can book an interview preparation session where you are prepared for the interview, taking through questions, how you can answer those questions to ensure that you do land the job. And then of course on the job support. All of this would be an addition to the technical skills and the experience that Victoria is already gathering. And then of course, networking and mentorship. Networking would give opportunities in areas that you did not even know opportunities existed. For example, we've had participants and organizations reach out to us, asking us if we have any recommendations, if we have anybody that we think would be a perfect fit for a role that's currently open in the organization. And what we do is that we push this out to our participants for them to go apply. Send us their CV, and then we send their CVs to the participants. That's what networking does for you. Then, of course, mentorship where you are being mentored by people that have been able to succeed, where you're looking to succeed, so you get to do things rightly. All of this combined together would eventually land you that job. That is the 6-step approach. And we've had so many people that have been able to go through the 6-step approach. For example, we've had a data hire that was able to transition from cybersecurity, got a job as a cybersecurity analyst, and then we've had Bukola. All right, so we have Bukola that was able to transition and got a job as a financial analyst as well. So many people that we've been able to help transition. We've had Victor Oyesina that got a job as a people's operations specialist after completing the HR analytics program. As long as you need access to the materials, the slides, the recording, so you can go through all of these testimonials, please ensure you fill the form that has been sent to the chat box. Okay, so fill that form so you get access to every one of our materials. So you can go through all of this. You can go through these testimonials online and hear from them how they were able to make that switch. And these are not all. We've been able to help Ikmat that was able to transition from being a full-time stay-at-home mom. She transitioned to the UK. She moved to the UK for her master's, and then after she was done with her master's, during the master's, so she was a stay-at-home mom for 2 years. And before she joined our program, she reached out to us, asking us for guidance. Remember, Hope also mentioned that she had an extensive conversation with FMEDA before she eventually went ahead with the Asia Project Management Program. We had a similar situation with Ikmat. Ikmat told us about a story that, okay, this is her situation and she's looking to transition. She wants to get back into the job market. And so after taking a look at that, we spoke with Ikmat and we recommended that she join our data analytics program. And from there, she was able to get a full visa sponsorship job role with the NHS as a data analyst. Remember, Gad also got a full visa sponsorship role as a data engineer. That is actually the dream of most of us. Many of us on the call right now, we're currently doing things that we really don't want to do. And what do I mean by that? Probably, let's say maybe you're currently in care, or maybe you're in the warehouse at the moment, and you're looking to transition. You want to move to a career that you can see growth. No problem. We are here for you. For example, we've had Abigail. Abigail was able to transition from being a care worker to working as a business analyst with the government of Alberta in Canada. We've been able to help Tony. Tony got a fully sponsorship role as a benefits analyst after completing our data analytics program with the NHS in the UK. From Abisola, that would help transition, get a job as a machine learning engineer after completing our data science program. To Oluwafikayo, that had the background in finance and accounting, but was looking to transition to data science. And we helped her land the job as a business solutions analyst with a company in Canada 1 month before completing our program. Remember, Guy got his job 3 months after completing the program. Hope got a job 2 months into the program. Hope was had not even completed the program. She joined the project management program in September and got a job in November. The program was not completed yet. It doesn't get better than this. So many people that we've been able to help. But what are the skills that will land you a job in 2025? What do you need to know in each and every one of those paths? Easy. The first thing we take a look at is the business analysis. Who is a business analyst? What does the business analyst do? A business analyst helps you move your business from where it is to where it ought to be. A business analyst is that person that is the middleman between the technical stakeholders and the non-technical stakeholders. A business analyst is all about ensuring that processes are optimized. A business analyst is a professional that analyzes business performance, that analyzes business processes, and helps optimize all of that. Taking a look at the example on the screen right now, you would see that at the moment there's a current state. The current state is what a particular company has to do to deliver items. So we have a company that sells handbags, and then we have customers that come in to, make orders and all of those kind of stuff. At the moment, it takes 3 days for an order to be delivered. And you would agree with me that when an order is taking long time, it's taking a longer time, there's high tendency you no longer patronize that company. At the moment, the current state is it's not optimized, because what customers have to do, first of all, the customer has to make an order by calling manually, and then we have so many manual processes whereby the staff manually has to write down the order, has to scan through the notebook to check if the item is available, then the staff has to go print out the order details, goes to the store, so many manual processes. All of this will then be optimized into the future states. For instance, instead of the customer having to make an order by calling, why don't we have an order management system whereby the customer can just go online and make an order directly? That's number one. Now, previously, we had the staff that would manually write down the order. So they are like, oh, the customer just called, please, do you have this? They have to manually write down that order. Why don't we have an order management system that receives the order, that automatically updates the inventory, automatically generates the order details, automatically generates the shipping labels, send the staff to go pick up the item, auto schedule? You can see so many automatically auto schedule the pickup with couriers and have couriers go deliver the item, instead of what we are currently doing, whereby we have to have the staff manually write down the order, then the staff has to go scan the notebook, then the staff has to go manually print out the order details, has to then go to the warehouse to check if the item is available, then have to go pick up the item, then have to go prepare the shipping labels. All of that wastes time. So the business analyst would then say, oh, why don't we go with this future state, helping the business save time, optimizing their processes, helping them get more customers, because you would rather purchase from an organization that would deliver an item to you in 5 hours than one that would do the same in 3 days. As a business analyst, tools that you are going to be working with, things that you need to know. You start with your Excel, Power BI, and your SQL, because these are tools that many recruiters want business analysts to be able to use. Recruiters now want business analysts with a flavor of data analytics. They want business analysts with what? With a flavor of data analytics. Now, what is that? What does that mean? That does not mean that you have to understand data analytics in depth. That does not mean you have to be a data analyst, but you should be able to carry out some data functions. You should be able to analyze data at least. That is why you begin with your Excel, your Power BI, and your SQL, which will give you that basic data knowledge. And then you move to your process mapping, your project initiation planning, your Agile and Scrum for project, software development lifecycle, that's the SDLC, your requirement fundamentals, your elicitation, stakeholder analysis and engagement, your ChatGPT for business analysis. These are all of the things that you get to learn. Your process mapping is talking about the fact that it's what I just explained earlier. You taking a look at the current process and coming up with an optimized process. And for you to map out your processes, tools that you work with are tools like your Lucid Chart, your Draw.io. You need to understand requirement fundamentals, how you can gather requirements from stakeholders. Your elicitation, your SDLC for when it comes to software projects. All of this will make you a business analyst. And how do you learn? What are the class times? You get to learn on Saturdays. So the classes are on Saturdays. You get to learn on Saturdays, live classes on Saturdays, and then there's a section for everyone. So let's say you're in Europe, you're in the UK, or you're in Africa. You get to have classes from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, which is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. UK time. And then if you're in North America, that's you're in Canada, you're in the US, then you get your classes out by 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. And then, of course, you have the self-paced what we're doing videos. Because don't forget, I mentioned that we use a dual learning approach. And then the learning timeline. There are two plans. You have the 8-month plan and the 12-month plan. The 8-month plan being where you get to learn for 6 months, and then you have a 2-month internship. 6 months of learning and 2 months of internship. And then the 12-month plan, you get to learn for 6 months, and then you intern for another 6 months. Going with the 12-month plan would give you more experience, especially for those of us that you don't have enough experience, and you like to build your experience before you so you're coming from a place of experience during your interviews. Because yes, recruiters would always go for the person with experience. So the 12-month program would give you more time, an extended period of time to work on what? To work on your project, to intern with organizations. While the 8-month plan is, okay, maybe you already have some knowledge or you already have some experience in that regard, and you're just looking to learn the skills. Then you get a 2-month internship. And then we have the Agile Project Management Program, the APM. What does an Agile Project Manager do? An Agile Project Manager manages projects using the Agile framework. Agile or Agile, it's actually called Agile. I say Agile, okay? But Agile is you making things more flexible, you making things more adaptable. Gone are the days where companies were more rigid, working with the waterfall methodology, whereby before you move to B, you have to have completed A. So this is what waterfall says. Waterfall says, we call this waterfall. Waterfall says that if you waterfall says that you have to go ahead and let's say you want to wash. Okay, let's say you want to go dry clean. How do you dry clean? There are different steps in dry clean. So you have wash. You have to wash. Then you what? You rinse. Then you spin. And then you dry. I'm gonna write all of that again so it's clear. So just gonna use this. First of all, you wash, and then rinse, and then you spin before you dry. Waterfall says that you have to complete washing. You have to complete washing before you move into rinsing. And then you have to complete rinsing before you move into spinning and before you move into drying. Then you have to wash before you rinse, before you spin, and before you dry. And this can take time. This means that when you get your clothes, you could take maybe, let's say, 4 hours. And then if there's a stain, you have to start from square one all over again. Agile says you can wash, rinse, spin, and dry all at the same time. By doing things in multiple iterations, taking things one at a time, so that you can deliver on things a whole lot faster. Whereby if you wash, rinse, spin, and dry, you can get your clothes ready. And if you wash, rinse, spin, and dry all at the same time, your clothes could be ready in, let's say, an hour. It's because of Agile. That's the reason why we have different versions when it comes to applications. Previously, when Waterfall was being used, before any application is launched, the application has to have been completed in its entirety. But right now, that is no longer the case. We have applications that once something is just done, so let's say with the homepage has been completed, we push to the public to get feedback, and then we work on that feedback. That's the reason why you have things like your version 1, your version 2. For example, on WhatsApp, you have different updates coming up on WhatsApp from time to time. That is the Agile methodology, because WhatsApp has not been completed. But while you guys are working with WhatsApp, we'll keep working on it. We'll keep improving it. We'll keep adding in more features. Over here, you see, we want to build a website with an OMS. Using Agile, first thing we do, we have our first sprint, whereby we build the user login page. After building the user login page, we push to the public. We've built the login page and then we launch the application so people start using it. And then once we get feedback from the users, we can then work on, we can easily implement that feedback. We can easily work on that because it's still in that sprint. Like I said, we're taking things bit by bit. Let me give another analogy. Agile says that when you want to eat apple, you don't eat the whole, but you cut it down into subsequent chunks and take it one bit at a time. That makes it easier for you to make changes when necessary. That makes it easier for you to digest the apple. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, or so I've heard. So that is Agile. Okay. So that is Agile. Now, what do you need to learn? What do you need to know to be an Agile project manager? I'll just take all of this off. What do you need to know to be an Agile project manager? The first thing you need to do is to understand your project management methodologies, because we start from the basics. So you don't need to have had previous experience in project management for you to be able to transition and eventually get a job, because we start from the basics. So you learn about your project management methodologies and structure, and then you move to your project management skills and communication. Your foundations of Agile and Scrum, you have your Scrum events, which is talking about your sprint planning, your sprint retrospective, your sprint review. You get to learn your Kanban, because the good thing about Agile is that you are not just learning one framework. Under Agile, we have different frameworks. You have the Scrum framework, you have the Kanban, you have the Lean. So you get to learn all of this theory, so that if you're in a company or an organization that says we need someone that knows how to work with Lean, you are good to go. You're not just dependent on one framework alone. Hence the reason why instead of going for just a Scrum Master program, you go for the Agile Project Management program, because it gives you all of these options and keeps you relevant no matter the organization. The tools that you've been working with as an Agile project manager, you have tools like your Confluence, which is a tool for project collaboration and tracking of tasks, your Jira, your Trello. You also work with your Asana. You get to learn how to come up with your Gantt chart. And then the learning timeline is also the same as that of business analysis. For the data engineer, if you're interested in learning data engineer, what does a data engineer do? A data engineer is responsible for creating pipelines that's data pass through. The data analyst, the data scientist, the HR analyst, the financial analyst, all of those guys depend on one thing, and that is data. Without data, they can't work. But where does this data come from? That is where the data engineer comes in. The data engineer builds pipelines collecting data from different sources, such as your points of sales, let's say your website, from surveys, and then gathers all of this data, transforms and cleans, and pushes it to a database where data scientists, data analysts can easily get access to when they need data for analysis. For you to be a proficient data engineer, you need to understand SQL. SQL is the language of databases. It's your bread and butter. You have your Python programming. You get to learn Linux, which is another operating system. You get to learn how you can build ETL pipelines, of course. Your Apache Spark, which is also known as your PySpark, which is used for big data processing. That's when you're talking about data that consists of millions and millions and millions of rows. Your Apache Airflow for data orchestration, whereby you have a pipeline that runs on its own. So that instead of you having to go run the pipeline every day, you could just set an automation that once it's 10 a.m. every day, I want you to run and get new data from our data sources and push to the database. Then you also have your cloud engineering, your version control, and your ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. Moving on, you have your data analytics. For you to be a data analyst, what do you need to know? First thing first, your problem solving. You need to be able to solve problems because you can't be a data analyst if you can't solve problems. Understanding the different problem solving approaches. Then you learn your Excel. You're not just learning Excel as a spreadsheet tool. You're learning Excel as an analytical tool, a tool for data analytics. Then your SQL, your Power BI, and your Tableau. You learn your data storytelling, your ChatGPT for analytics, and also your Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. As a data analyst, what do you do? As a data analyst, you help organizations make data-driven decisions. You analyze data and show them the result. So you analyze data by working with all of the tools mentioned earlier, building things such as your reports, your dashboards, identifying trends, and then communicating this to the stakeholders. Because every organization is now data-centric. No one cares about opinions. Everyone wants to know what does the data say. And that is where the data analyst comes into play. As a data scientist, a data scientist takes it up a notch from where the data analyst stops. Because a data analyst focuses on two kinds of analytics. That's the descriptive analytics and the diagnostic analytics. The descriptive analytics talking about what happened, and the diagnostic analytics talking about why did this happen. You being able to answer questions like, okay, so this is how much you made last year, and this is why we made this amount of money last year. A data scientist takes it up a notch and then also takes a look at predictive analytics. Predictive analytics being able to predict the future. This is what will happen. For you to be a data scientist, you need to understand statistics. Your statistics, you have your forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel. You learn your Tableau for analytics, you learn your Tableau for data analytics, your SQL, your Python programming, your EDA, which is exploratory data analysis. You get to learn machine learning because with your machine learning, that's how you're going to be building this predictive AI models, these predictive models. and then you have your computer vision. Computer vision is you building systems that can detect objects, detect poses. It's a software that is also used in self-driving cars. Then you have your ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot for coding and your Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. For your financial analytics, you are a data analyst. As a financial analyst, you are a data analyst. But you are a data analyst that focuses on what? Financial data. So you are a data analyst, but you are a specialist. It's just like the surgeons. You have the surgeons and you have the GPs. The GPs being the general practitioners and the surgeons being specialists in this particular area. That is what the financial analysis does. The financial analyst is the financial, that's what financial analytics is all about. The financial analyst is the specialist, being able to take deep dives into financial data. So as a financial analyst, you get to learn most of the things that a data analyst would also learn, because like I said, you are a data analyst, but you are a data analyst that focuses on finance. So you get to learn your problem solving, your Excel, your Power BI, and your SQL. Then you move into your accounting. So you have your accounting fundamentals, you learn about your accounting fundamentals, your financial analysis, financial modeling, your valuation, and your sensitivity and scenario analysis. As a financial analyst, you'll be able to help organizations make decisions on the right financial path to take, on what should be invested in. You will help an organization maintain the financial health. For the HR analyst, just like the financial analyst, the HR analyst is also a data analyst, but a data analyst that focuses on people data. The HR analyst analyzes data to help improve a company's performance. That's why you have your problem solving, which you begin with. Then you have your Excel, your Power BI, your SQL. Then you begin moving into HR analytics, understanding HR metrics, understanding how you can optimize talent recruitment, how you can reduce attrition using data. HR analytics has transcended the mundane HR. If you are looking to succeed in HR, you need to ensure you have analytical skills. For the cybersecurity, a cybersecurity analyst is a professional that helps an organization protect their resources and their networks from outside threats. A cybersecurity analyst plays a crucial role in protecting an organization's systems. At 10Alytics, in the cybersecurity program, there are 4 areas of cybersecurity that you'll be focused on: your SOC analysis, to your threat intelligence, to your penetration testing, and also your GRC, which is the governance, risks, and compliance. So as soon as you're done with the program, you are able to apply to jobs in any of those areas. You get to learn how to work with tools such as your CM tools, such as your Azure, your Splunk, to working with your QRadar. You get to learn how to work with your Cisco Packet Tracer when it comes to your networking, your Wireshark, your Metasploit, and then you have your Kali. Your Kali, that's your Kali Linux, because you are going to learn Linux. Linux is the go-to operating system for cyber security analysts. The timing is still the same as always. You have sessions for those in Europe, and also sessions for those in Canada, and that's in North America in general. In all of those programs, you'll have the opportunity to include 10Alytics and Amdari on your CV. Why? Because after taking 6 months of training, you get to have internship, right? You will be interning with Amdari. So you are coming from a place of experience because on your CV, you're going to have 10Alytics and you're also going to have Amdari on your CV. It doesn't get better than that. But for you to be able to get a job, you need another formula. Remember, I talked about formulas. The first formula we took a look at was the 6-step approach. Now we also need to take a look at a very, very important one, which is the T plus E. Because for you to get a job, it's not just about having the technical skills. For you to be able to do what God did, whereby you apply to 6 jobs and you get 2 interviews, you need to have the employability skills. Listening to Hope earlier, before joining 10Alytics, Hope has been applying to jobs. She was not getting any callback. But after she joined, because remember, Hope said that she already had some knowledge of project management. And she had been applying for jobs, but to no avail. But after she joined 10Alytics, 2 months into the program, she got a job that she currently has. A job that pays her over 6 figures. What was that thing missing? It was the employability skills. At 10Alytics, we are not only interested in you just learning the skills. We are even more interested in you getting the job. That is what we define as success. When we say we've been able to help close to 3,000 individuals transition into tech, we are not saying that we've been able to help them learn tech. No, we are saying that we've been able to help them land jobs in tech because we know what works. From the CV review, which would show you how you can have great CVs, from how you can be like God, that you apply to jobs and you know that you're going to be called for an interview. Where your issue is not going to be, oh, I'm not being called for an interview. No, where your issue will be passing the interview. That's what you'll be focused on, not even your CV. Then you have the LinkedIn optimization. God already spent time talking about that, how it was important, how it is important, how recruiters go on LinkedIn searching for individuals. He mentioned how recruiters were reaching out to him on LinkedIn, telling him to apply to certain jobs, telling him to send his CV. To navigate to the job market, where recruiters would tell you, these are people that are actually taking a look at your CV, would come and tell you what they are looking for in your CV. So you place those things on your CV so they give you a job. Does it even get better than that? I don't think so. So interview prep, where you've gotten an interview, but you need someone to prep you for the interview, because we are not just interested in you learning the skills alone. We also want you to land that job. So you can go ahead to schedule a one-on-one interview prep session where you are taking through everything you need to know as regards scheduling through the interview, from answering questions about yourself to talking about your experience to answering technical interviews. So you do land that job. And when you've gotten the job, many recruiters would want you to provide some sort of a reference letter. As long as you're a participant or an alumnus with 10Alytics, you are sure of getting a reference letter from us when the need arises. And you also get on-the-job support, because of course, when you've gotten the job, sometimes you might be given a task that is not so clear. You don't know what to do. You can reach out to us and we'll tell you what to do, so you go back to work and so you do amazingly well. And mentorship. I talked about this earlier. Mentorship is one very, very big thing. So many people reach out to me on LinkedIn every day, sending me messages, asking I mentor them. And it's understandable, because we need people that have been able to succeed where we are looking to succeed. So we know what to do. When you have a mentor, it's very, very easy for you to do what's right, because these are people that are leaders in the space that have been able to succeed in the space, telling you what you ought to do. And then you have the Upwork optimization, where if you're interested in freelancing, you want to freelance. You want to decide your working hours. You want to work from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. and sleep the rest of the day. The Upwork session will bring people that will come in to tell you how you can succeed on Upwork. from navigating the entire proposal writing, to navigating the entire use of the Connect system, to ensuring that you do eventually speak with the client and that you do land a gig and you then land several gigs on Upwork. There are so many people that have gone through all of this. This is not just me telling you, oh, this, that, that. No, these are approaches that we've tested and we've seen that they work. So many people that we've been able to help. We helped Lois. Lois got a job as a project manager in the UK after completing our program. So Ngozi that got a job as Ngozi got a remote job as a business analyst working in the orders field in the UK. Please ensure you fill the form so you get access to our material, so you can listen to all of those people speak, telling you how they were able to transition. So Oluwa Damilare that will help get a job as a sustainability data analyst in the UK as well. To Abigail that was a co-worker in Canada, and we helped her transition to working as a business analyst with the government of Alberta in Canada. To Busola that completed our data analytics program, and we helped get a job as a performance analyst in Desjardins, Canada. To Benem that we helped get a job as a HR analyst in the US after completing our HR analytics program. To Fola that would help get a job with the government of British Columbia in Canada after completing our business analysis program. To Bukola that went through our data science program. Busola and Bukola, I mentioned Busola earlier. Busola went through our data analytics program, got a job as a performance analyst. Bukola went through our data science program, got a job as a data scientist in Poland. To Ololade, that got a permanent residency in Canada using our experience as a data scientist with 10Alytics. So many people have been able to help. So many people we've been able to help. So Abdul that went through our HR analytics program and we helped get a job as a data analyst in the UK. So many people. This session we're having, right, that we had today is not the first of its kind. We've been so successful, we've been able to help so many people transition that we've had so numerous sessions whereby our sessions on how I secure the job training with 10Alytics, where people come in and tell you how they're able to transition, just like what Gad and Hope did today. If you want to go to previous sessions like this, to listen to these individuals, to listen to these people, how they've moved from working in the warehousing sector to getting a job in tech, or working in care to getting a job in tech, or working in an area that they were not really happy with to working in tech. Ensure you fill that form and listen to all of those people. Because once you fill the form, you get access to our materials. So many people we've been able to help. This was Joel. This is Joel. We helped Joel get a job as a data engineer as well. So many people. What drives us at 10Alytics is your success. And that is why we are always looking for more ways to upscale, to ensure that we can reach even more people and help even more people achieve success, to ensure that we can reach you and help you achieve success. That is why we are always looking for ways to upscale. That's why we completed the Alberta Catalyzer program that is helping us upscale as a business so we are able to reach even more people. And of course, we are also accredited with the American Council of Training and Development, which is a testament to the quality of our programs. Don't you want to get into any of those programs? Don't you want to be like God? Earlier, I saw comments on the chat box, and I'm sure many of us, we are still of that same mindset, that we want to be like God. God was smiling, talking about his job. Tell me, when was the last time you smiled when you talked about your job? When was the last time you smiled when you thought about your job? What are you going to start doing today for 2025? Because yes, we're already in February, but we are actually still in the first quarter. So it's not too late for you to make a decision. What are the next steps you want to take? The next thing for you right now, remember, we all agree the moral lesson of the story today. What was the moral lesson? The moral lesson was join 10Alytics because we are interested in your success. That was the moral lesson that we got today. We all agree that. We wanted to mention that, not me. And how do you do that? By joining our next cohort, which begins on the 8th of March. For you to be a part of our program, from business analysis to data analytics to data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, HR analytics, financial analytics, or HR project management, you need to register. And we have two plans, the 8-month plan and the 12-month plan. The 8-month plan is $900 and the 12-month plan is $1,200. But at the moment, we are running a discount for the first 20 persons to register, a 20% discount for the first 20 persons to register. And so you get to pay $750 instead. And for the 12-month plan, you get to pay $1,000 instead. And you can also break this down into multiple installments by paying $150 every month for the next 5 months for the 8-month plan. And for the 12-month plan, by paying $125 every month for 8 months. My colleague has sent the link to make payment to the chat box. Once you click on that link, it's going to bring you over to the 10Alytics Enrollment Center. There are 2 ways you can make payments. You can either make payment through our website or by clicking on that link. By clicking on that link, it will bring you over to the 10Alytics Enrollment Center, and you can see the discount is still running. So you go ahead and select the program you're looking to register for. Let's say you want to go with the data science program. Over here, we have the full stack data science. So you get to select if you want to go with the 8-month program or if you want to go with the 12-month program. Let's say you want to register for 8 months. So what you do is that you go ahead and you select the 8-month program. Okay, so you select the 8-month program. And over here, you'd see that we currently have 10 seats available. So we have 10 seats available. So 10 persons have already registered for the full stack data science program, 10 seats to go when it comes to the discount. As soon as this number is exhausted, the fee is going to go back to the original price. So right now, the discount is still running. That's the reason why you notice that the fee is still discounted. So you can go ahead and select the tranche that you want to go. You can go ahead and select the tranche you want to go with. So it's either you want to pay in installments, or you want to pay. So you can pay a one-time payment in 2 installments, 3 installments, 4 installments, or 5 monthly installments. If you do decide to make payments in a single swoop, you get to have an extra $50 off the original, in addition to your discounts. So you get 20, you get 20% off. Okay, you get 20% off. I'm sorry, in addition to the 20% off you're getting, you get an additional $50 off. That's if you go ahead to make a one-time payment. But if you want to break that down into multiple installments, so you can go for the 2-month installment or the 5-month installment, where you pay $150 for each month for the next 5 months. So once you select the tranche you are looking to go with, you click on that and then you select secure your seats. So this will show you your payment timeline, that if you make payments today, your next payment will be due on the 13th of March, and then the next will be due on the 13th of April, next will be due on the 13th of May, and all of that. So once you click on proceed, it will ask you for your details. You get to make payments, and then once you make payments, there will be a receipt. Your receipt will be sent to you in addition to a link. So your receipt will be sent to you via email in addition to a link that would say that you should click on it to complete your registration. That's what will be written in there. So once you click on that link to complete your registration, you'll be taken to a form that you need to fill. So you can also come over here and click on upload your receipts. So you can either click on the link that will be sent to you via email, or you can click on upload your receipt here. So you upload your receipt, you fill in the details, and then you click on submit. After you click on submit, you will get an email from us confirming your payment, in addition to your welcome kit that contains everything you need to be a part of the program. So that is how you get to register. And also, I talked about the 10Alytics LMS. So this is what the 10Alytics LMS looks like. As soon as you make payment, you will be onboarded on 10Alytics LMS, where you get to see where you get to watch the videos and also have your live classes. So you also will have your live classes. So over here, you can see, let's say you want to go with the data engineering, data engineering course. So let's take a look at the data engineering videos. Okay, so over here you can see the introduction. You can see the introduction, and so you can see the introduction, the installation video. So this is an installation video, an introduction to data analytics. You have the welcome address by Efemina. Okay, so you can click any of the video and then you get to watch and practice alongside the facilitator. So this is just the welcome address. You've been welcomed to the program by Efemina, the co-founder of 10Alytics. Okay, so I think my bandwidth is a little bit low. Okay, so this Efemina welcome you to the program. Okay, and then over here you'd see that you have the introduction to data engineering, explaining data engineering concepts, and then moving on to the next week, you then go into Python. Okay, moving on to the next week, you get into Python, and then you see you have your different modules. So you have your string, you're learning how to work with Python, starting from the basics. So you learn the foundations of Python and you build up there, because coding is very, very easy and will take you through everything you need to know. And you're not just watching the videos, you're also practicing alongside, because over here you'd see you can download the course materials. So after you download the course materials, you're practicing alongside the facilitator. So this is the facilitator taking you through coding, that's strings in Python. All right, so this is your Jupyter notebook. This is your Jupyter notebook. Okay, so yeah, oh, I'm not sharing audio. I forgot. I thought I was sharing audio. I'm not sharing audio. So yeah, that's it. So you get to watch what the facilitator is doing and you're practicing alongside. And then also you have your live classes where you're just like what we're doing right now, where you're in a call with the facilitator, you're asking questions, you're working on more projects, all of that. So that's a dual learning approach we take. And on the 10Alytics LMS, there are so many features. There are so many features, so many exciting features. Of course, you have the assessment which you take as soon as you are done with every week, just to test your knowledge, just to be sure that okay, you actually did understood what was taught. And then you have the badges, whereby for every assessment you complete, you earn a badge that you can post on social media like LinkedIn. Remember, you want to ensure that you're posting things on LinkedIn so recruiters know that you can do what you can do, so they reach out to you for opportunities. And then you have your stats, you have the streak count, so many things. You also have the AI feature. You have Oluko. So Oluko is the 10Alytics AI model. AI is the big thing right now. Every company has their own AI model. Google has Gemini, OpenAI has ChatGPT, Microsoft has Copilot, Twitter has Grok. Everyone has AI. So this is 10Alytics personal AI model. This is our own AI model. So as soon as you register for the program, you get access fully to Oluko. So Oluko is a fantastic AI model that can guide you from answering career related questions about your career, to answering questions about the course content, to asking general questions, real life questions. Maybe you are having a sad day and you need someone to encourage you. You can come talk to Oluko. Oluko would encourage you and tell you that you should not give up. You should keep applying to jobs. Okay, so you can speak with, or you can also speak with your facilitators. So of course you also have the human interaction, because you're going to be in a community where you have the facilitators, the data associate, the senior data associate, everyone willing to lend their hands to you to ensure that you do succeed. Okay, so yeah, so many people we've been able to help transition. The discount is only for the first 20 people to register. Only for the first 20 people to register. So many testimonials, so many testimonials. We could go on and on and on. We could spend all day, yeah, all day really. So please ensure you fill the feedback form. So you ensure you fill the attendance form, sorry, so you get access to the materials, so you can go through all of these during your spare time. I hope we had an amazing time. I know I had an amazing time listening to Gad and Hope, listening to their story. Okay, I was very much inspired. I know I've been in tech for a while, of course, yes. So yeah, so I've been in tech for for a long time now, and it's always exciting listening to new people transition into tech. Trust me, tech is sweet. Tech is amazing. Okay, the opportunities in tech, fantastic. Right now. There are so many things that I have decided not to embark on because I do not have the time. So what is holding me back right now is the time and not really the opportunities. I've gotten so many opportunities in tech that I even had to learn a second language, because it got to a point where the barrier was the language. So having to work with organizations that for example, having to work with French organizations, right? That's whereby it will be in your favor if you can speak French. And so, yes, now I can speak French. Okay, but yeah, that's the situation, and I think everyone should endeavor to get into this. Ensure you register. Click on that link, go ahead and make payment and start your journey. And so that we have a session where you yourself, I'm talking to you, Eric, I'm talking to you, Erica, I'm talking to you, Ezekiel. So you also have to what? You also have a time where you join the session and we get to hear from you as well. You get to tell people, you get to inspire others on how you were able to make that switch so others can follow as well. And with that, I'll say thank you everyone for joining us today. Please, I don't think we have questions. Do I have questions? I'm going to take a look at the chat box. Let me see if I have questions. Okay, Online is asking, hope there are no extra charges. No, there's no extra charge. The only charge is the payment you're making for the program. Every other thing is attached. You are not going to be paying for any other thing. So if you are registering for the 8 months program and you qualify for the discount, you get to pay $750 and that's it. That's the only payment you are making. Any other question? Let me see. Okay, yeah, so I think that those are just the questions. Okay, so please, if you know you have other questions, maybe you would want to have a personal interaction, a one-on-one interaction with a professional just to hear your concerns. Maybe there's some personal things you would like to talk about. Ensure you go ahead and book a clarity session. So I'm sure we are all in this community. A link is going to be sent where you can go ahead, where you can go to you can click on the link and book a clarity session. Have that one-on-one session with a professional that will answer your question. The title of the session is how can we help you get a job? And so you want to ensure that you're a part of that. If you have any question for us, just to ensure that you are selecting the right career. And with that, thank you again, everyone. I enjoyed myself and I hope that we did as well. I'll see you some other time. And please ensure you go ahead to register, because as we always say, quick says the clock. And what you have to do ensure you do quick. Cheers, guys.